Do you find that your thoughts keep spinning out of control? That it's hard for you these days to kind of settle your brain down? Maybe you're focused on a child that is going through a tough time, or the refrigerator's calling your name at 2 a.m. to eat a 4-course meal, or maybe there's a credit card bill that you just don't know how you're going to pay. You've got yourself in a pickle and you just don't know how to settle all these thoughts down. Well, I came up with something a couple weeks ago that has helped me. It's called the Focus Compass. It's something you can try immediately, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Hopefully, it'll help you too. All right, let's get to it.
Hey, Steffi K got something to say. Talk that listens, clears the way. Truth on the mic, grounded in change. You sticking with that? Oh yeah, we sticking with that. Laugh it out, talk it through, we ain't looking back.
Some chats ain't easy, but we take it slow. Tough stuff, tackle now, watch us glow.
You sticking with it? Yeah, we sticking with that.
So a couple weeks ago, I was on the elliptical, and I know in the episode about weight loss, I mentioned how I was really a little bit sick and tired of the elliptical, which I was, but I seem to be over it. Now that I realized I can do about 5 miles in just a little over an hour, so it's really easy for me to get my cardio in on that machine. So anyway, I was overthinking a scenario that I tend to regularly overthink, and it's a situation for me that it's like a puzzle that I'm trying to solve, and I'm just not able to solve it. And so for me, being a bit of a detective of sorts, I just continue to think about it. I'm obviously missing some pieces. They are coming day by day. They are showing up. But in the meantime, I need to find a way to calm down. And so I was on the elliptical thinking enough is enough. I kind of was at my wit's end about it, done thinking about it. And I thought, how am I going to shift my focus when I'm consumed with recurring different scenarios over and over? So I was brainstorming. One thing led to another. And I was thinking, well, maybe there's a way to kind of count. I'm pretty much allergic to boring stuff. So I was trying to think of an original way to do that. So then I started thinking, okay, how about by decades? Because of course I'm sure I was listening to 80s at the time at the gym. I kind of categorized my music in decades. That kind of came to mind. And then I thought, well, there has to be a prize or some kind of, satisfaction at some point. That kind of led me to this whole focus compass concept with stopping points. That's kind of the background story of that and how that came to be. There's been several titles that I've rolled around, wanted something original, and I came up with this poster for you guys. I'll find a way to explain to you how to get it for free here today too. I will have the PDFs for both the adult version of the Focus Compass and the children's version on our Facebook channel, which is called You Stickin' With That Podcast. So let's get to it. The Focus Compass, a direction for racing thoughts. For moments when your thoughts are anxious, off, or hard to slow down, the Focus Compass is a simple, original attention direction tool that steadies racing thoughts by giving the brain one clear path to follow without analysis, emotional labeling, or explanation. A real compass doesn't change where you are. It gives you one direction to follow until you're steady again. The Focus Compass works the same way. So the way it works is this. I don't count 100. I start in the 90s. So you have one number in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, 10. And then when you get to single digits, you do the same thing. And then when you get to 0, you visualize 0 spelt out. And that's your reward, I guess, of finishing going down the line is you, and it can be any color you want. I, of course, love the rainbow version here. And so that's what this looks like, but it's in your head, whatever you want. Typically, you would not count these out loud. You would do it internally, but that is up to you. You pick one number from each decade. and it should be random. It shouldn't be a pattern or a sequence. So for example, if you pick 98, you would not go to 88, 78, 68. Okay. And that's not what this is about. So at the start, choose one pattern and keep it all the way to 0. One random number per decade or 2 random numbers per decade. So another choice is you could, if you're super stressed out or have yourself in an extra tense situation, you could do 2 numbers. And I've been doing that at certain times. So the example here, start in the 90s, do not say 100. Run your chosen pattern fast and loose. So here's some examples. I think you guys can see that, but I'm just gonna do it how I would do it in my head right now. 97, 86, 73, 62, 50, 49, 35, 22, 17, 5, 0. And then I kind of make 0 a big deal in my head. Usually by the time I get to 0, I'm calmed down and I'm fine. But there are a few times that I need to count back up. And so if I need to count back up, I just go back up. Now you can use the same 1 number pattern, 1 number per decade, or you could go 2. So if I was going to switch it and I was going to go 2 on the way up, I would go 3, 5, 10, 14, 21, 26, 32, 37, 45, 48, 50, 57, 61, 63, 72, 77, 88, 89, 91, 96, and then 100. So there's an extra burst of excitement and color and whatever you see in your head at 100. So usually by then you would be calmed down enough. There are some times that I anticipate being stressed out and I start it, and by like the 30s, I've already moved on. My thought has shifted and I've moved on to something else. You don't have to hit the stopping points. They're there for you if you need them. Hopefully that makes sense. When I get to 0, I just check in and kind of think, do I need to go back up? If I need to go back up, I just go right back up. And normally I count faster in my head. I'm just a little bit nervous and for teaching purposes wanted to just make it more clear. So, okay. And then if you reach 0 and still need to continue, leave 0 and move back up through the decades. You may keep the same pattern or switch from 1 random number per decade to 2 if that helps, which is what I just said. When you reach the top, visualize a bright sign that says 100. Okay. Helpful tips. Faster is better. Okay, so go fast. I also make sure I don't remember the numbers that I said. So I obviously, if you're going down and up, right away, you're going to kind of remember. I try to make it a variety because for me, it's not fun if it's the same sequence. So I try to mix it up, make it something really exciting and awesome. Don't try to remember the numbers. Don't create a sequence. 0 and 100 are visual stopping points. They are kind of everything. And then repeat as many times as you need. So if you're still upset, whatever your thoughts are at the time, I should say, feel free to just do it as many times as you need. I was at a new meeting with some brand new people, and a conversation came up, and wouldn't call it a trigger, but I would say somebody lied. I have a couple options there. I could call them out, but they're brand new. I don't know them. And so for me, then I turn into research mode. But at the time, I'm still now got to get through trying to figure out why that happened. Why did they lie? And assess the situation, right? So as the whole conversation then was going on, the next set, I was doing the counting thing in my head the whole time and nobody knew. So I stayed calm and was just observing and reflecting. So that's just an example. There's also a child version of this. So basically, if you're a kid or maybe you're a teacher and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this might be awesome. If they can spell 0 and they can count through all the numbers, basically I would recommend just sticking to this. But I do have another poster here that I'd like to show you real quick. Okay, so here is the children's version of this. The Focus Compass, direction for racing thoughts. Pick one number from each group of 10, and it just shows the early examples with the continuation there. And then keep going down to 0. I'm thinking kindergarten, they can spell 0, can't they these days? And the reason for me, it's important to spell it out is because sometimes 0 has a negative attachment to it. And so I think it's important to spell it out because it just seems like a prize at the end. Younger children could probably go with the number. Stop when your thoughts slow down. And then if you need to, count back up to 100. So it's showing them how to do the sequence with the variety of numbers. There's no right or wrong. It's just to help you refocus your brain to get back on track. That's it. So I've had a chance over the last 2 weeks to test, and it's worked for me. I would say for me, I felt more calm, helped to stay focused, helped to, not overeat and do things, some maybe unhealthy habits that I would normally be drawn to in a stressful situation, keep my feelings in check, just moving in a forward direction and not getting sidetracked. Having done this for 2 weeks, I love the results that I'm seeing within my own self. I just wanted to share it with you in hopes that it might be a game changer for you. And after all, it is about the journey. So if we can help each other in any little way that we can, that is fantastic. And I'm hoping that this thing that popped into my head will help many of you down the road. You will be able to find this on our Facebook at You Sticking With That Podcast. Look for the PDFs. You can just download them for free and print off as many as you want. It's all yours. As always, if you have success, I would love to hear it. You can email me at youstickingwiththat@gmail.com. As you know, our episodes come out Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Spotify. I hope you guys have had an amazing week. And for my Steffi K thought of the day, do you know that most men don't recall the last time they received a compliment about their appearance? As women, we tend to overcompliment, whether it's shoes, purse, hairstyle, clothes. We tend to be really good at that. Sometimes we leave out the men. So your thought for the week, your thought of the day is to think of the guys. If there's a compliment that you could throw one of them, do it because they might not remember the last time they got one. I'm Stephanie K, and I am sticking with that. We'll see you next week.